With thousands of positive reviews and unbeatable prices, LootBar.gg is the smarter way to recharge in WutheringWaves. Click the link in the description in order to start saving money now. Yo nation, how you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be checking out some of the feedback lists that the community have been calling for Crow Games to change in the game, some tweaks, some stuff that people are just like sort of like want to change in order to make the game a lot better. The reason that I have the game open before checking out the list that the people made or kind of upvoted on the Reddit is that I have something that I want to kind of change, because the thing that I want to change is the way that we recycle echo, honestly. And this is the thing that I'm really unhappy with, is that I collect all these echoes and that they fill up most of my sort of like backpack or whatever. And if I want to like get rid of them because they take so much space, all I have to like to do is sort of like remove rather than do other stuff with them, which is like kind of frustrating in my opinion. So hopefully they do something with them. Maybe I can like sacrifice them to get like some echo tubes or do something with them. That would be really, really cool. Let me know if there is an alternative to do with them that I didn't notice, because yeah, I would wish, like, instead of like just like tossing them for no reason whatsoever, to be able like to do something else with them would be really, really cool in my opinion. All right, with that out of the way, let's jump into the list and check out what is going on with the community and what they want like essentially like to happen in the game. So this list is made by a guy called Nerado or Nerada Zero. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but yeah, he made the list where I haven't seen him yet, so I'm going to be reacting with you guys essentially and sort of like make my thoughts on top of that, and maybe like give your thoughts in the comments down below if you guys like have anything to do. But it has like a significant amount of upvote, which is like 2.3k, which is a significant amount in my opinion for a lot of people, which he made feedback list, a comprehensive list of feedback given and contributed by the community for WutheringWaves version 2.4. Over the past few days, I've compiled some of the most upvoted and well-received feedback from the WutheringWaves community across various platforms, specifically focused on this patch. I've summarized these points into clear and easy to digest slides for your convenience. With the upcoming survey likely arriving this week, feel free to use this compilation as reference when submitting your own feedback. You're also encouraged to share any additional thoughts or suggestions in the comments. For your input may help other voice concerns that haven't been covered yet. Text version converted. Okay, so basically, like as you guys know, I'm not sure when I'm going to be recording this video. The survey should be out today or tomorrow, I believe, which is, yeah, it would be like nice. I like to see this feedback list and sort of like compare to what Crow Games have listened to and what they opted to change essentially. So yeah, let's start. The quest QTE. The part in the main quest requires minimal player interactions to the point where QuickTime events QTEs automatically complete even when failed. As a result, players found themselves merely watching the character progress through this section without any input on their part. Oversimplifying gameplay elements risk alienating players by assuming they are incapable of handling challenges. These particular section felt disappointingly passive and lacked the engagement expected from an interactive experience. Oh my god, this is such a good point. I do agree that they should have sort of like changed it, because yeah, it's super minimal, the interaction, to the point where you're just like clicking a button instead of like jumping or doing the action yourself. I mean, most of us played a lot of games and we know, like, we are fighting the holograms that are like 10 times much more difficult than the main story. We are capable of like clicking buttons and also sort of like maybe dodging, maybe like doing more of like interactive like sort of like movements and stuff like that. So I do agree with this one. So hopefully they make some tweaks and so on. So he also like gives the solution or sort of like, let me move myself here on top so you guys can see the text properly. He sort of like made the proposal or the solution in order to make this one much more better. His proposed is allow players to select their preferred playstyle when encountering similar QTE scenarios in the future. Auto will automatically progress the story without waiting for the user input, while having manual will give players a more hands-on approach for these types of quest challenges, or having a skip button for those who simply wish to skip to the next part may be a viable option as well. Honestly, I don't think the skip button is the way to go, but I do prefer the auto and the manual because like you're playing the game for the main story, or maybe it's a bit justified. Some people don't like the story, they just like play for the characters and stuff, but yeah, I do believe like auto and manual would give people the opportunity to be a part of the main story itself. So yeah, I think this is such a good solution, in a sense where if you don't want to do it, you have the auto section or the auto button that sort of like does everything for you, or the manual if you want to be more hands-on when it comes to the main story, which is a great thing in my opinion. So the next sort of like problem, or the thing that they don't like about the game, is the synthesis upgrade. Currently, synthesizing gold mats requires purple ores, which in turn require blue, and blue mats are synthesized using green materials. This multi-tiered dependency adds unnecessary friction to the crafting progress. I suggest adding a quality of life feature where if required material purple is unavailable, the game can automatically substitute it with the necessary amount of the next tier material. Blue adjusted the quantity accordingly. This would streamline synthesis without breaking balance, as the increased material cost would still reflect the original crafting path. That's such a good quality of life that would save you a lot of time, in my opinion. And these like small things that sort of like adds up, that you can just like you can like easily fix, in my opinion, would be way better. Like it would just like make you, instead of like clicking, I don't know, like 4 buttons that could add up like with each interaction with this synthesis upgrade, like making it like just one click and get it solved, which is great, honestly, for the people that doesn't want to waste time and make it much more seamless. I think this is such a good idea. Essential materials, as we move into the story, more new regions is expected to be revealed. That said, players need to go or unlock the new regions to get most new characters. Essential materials, example Lupa, Cartethiya. This makes it hard for new players to level up their characters, where essential materials only exist within that region, as they will be required to unlock it by reaching a certain point of the story. That's very true, because if you start playing now, you don't have the Renacita region open or whatever. You're just going to be having like to wait to level up your characters until you reach that certain threshold. So that's a good point. Suggested make a small amount of essential materials purchasable in the shop in early regions, Jinshu, or be given as a reward during an event in the same patch. This gives players an option to upgrade their characters without the need to breeze through the main quest. This is such a good thing for new players, and I like the like sort of like the selfishness that like players that have been playing the game for a while, that they are requesting quality of life for new players. This is such a good sort of like change. It might not affect us, like the veterans that play the game for almost a year now, which is great in my opinion. That to give you like, you don't have to like to give it for the old players, I don't know, like because like you want to like maybe do the exploration, running around and make like the sort of like the game much more interesting, like hands-on. You want to like to farm your own materials in order to feel that like connection to your character, because oh, I leveled up that character and he's very strong. So maybe yeah, for new players that you know that those regions are not open or they're not unlocked, maybe this is the way to go. Just like give them the opportunity to buy it. Such a good point, actually. I never thought of that. Trial experience. Currently, the trial session feels too short to properly evaluate new characters, especially those that rely on team rotations or synergy with their teammates. In many cases, enemies are already defeated before the full rotation or skills can be completed, which limits the opportunity to understand the character's full potential. Suggestion: consider extending the duration of trial sessions or allowing them to continue indefinitely. Alternatively, you could implement a training mode that either continuously respawns enemies until the player chooses to exit, or introduce a high HP or invaluable enemy to serve as a test dummy. This would allow players to fully explore a character's kit and mechanics in more meaningful and engaging ways. That's such a good point, because like sometimes you want to like to switch from one character to another to see her damage, and you don't get that opportunity because the characters or the mobs that you're fighting, they die very quickly. So that's such a good point for the people that are hesitant to invest in that character, and once they invest, they're like, oh my god, this character damage is underwhelming and stuff. So this is such a good point for the people that are hesitant to invest, in my opinion. So yeah, it's very straightforward, so I'm gonna leave it as that. Event tab organization. The current layout of the event tab can become cluttered as it displays both completed and ongoing events without clear distinctions. This often leads to unnecessary time spent clicking through each event to determine its completion status. This is such a true thing. Like you are like going through them, see, oh, did I finish this one? Did I finish this one? Did I finish this one? So I don't know, like, what's the solution for it, because I want to see it. Suggestion, please consider adding an option to hide or archive completed events. Alternatively, completed events could be visually grayed out, removed, or automatically moved to a separate archived or completed section until the event's duration is over. This would greatly improve clarity and usability, allowing players to more easily focus on ongoing content. This is such a brainless like sort of thingy that you don't think about until like someone suggested it, because yeah, it does take so much time like going through each part or each event, checking if you finished it or not, and sometimes you're like, oh, did I finish this one? Did I finish this one? So this is such a good quality of life and so on, and these small problems that people, they're like, oh, you're being picky, you're being like super freaking like, I don't know, like whiny about small stuff, they kind of add up. Like they become like layered to the point that you're like doing this like spending much more time doing this small issues that could have been easily sort of like fixed in a small quality of life patch. Weather control option. The newly added weather effects such as rain in the symptoms are visually impressive enhancement that many players with capable hardware would like to experience more consistently. However, the current system relies on random weather triggers, which can make it difficult to fully enjoy these effects. That would be really, really cool. I recently made a video exploring the effects of the rain, of the small like winds and stuff like that they have, and the lightnings and stuff. They were really, really cool visually, and in order to get them on video for you guys, I had to wait like, I don't know, like 15 minutes in order to for the weather to change, in order for me to put it, and to have the ability to choose those effects and sort of change the weather. That would give the players more hands-on scenario, which is pretty cool in my opinion. So the suggestion that he gives, or the community gives, is please consider implementing a weather control option in the setting menus, maybe similar to the time, controlling the time. This could allow players to manually trigger specific weather conditions, rain, snow, storm, sunny, or select a preferred range for the game to cycle through. Such a feature would enhance the player experience by offering more control over the game's atmospheres and visual. That would be really, really cool. In my opinion, WutheringWaves is really gorgeous as a game, and giving people more control would be really, really cool. Add pity counter in the convene page. It would be highly beneficial to include a visible pity counter on the convene gacha page to help players track the numbers of pool remaining until a guaranteed reward. That would be so freaking we are in 2025. Genshin had this had this system, this old system where you have to count everything manual since 2020, I believe, or whatever. And to have this option not included in this, and their excuse is it takes time for us to sort of count it or whatever, is kind of ridiculous in my opinion. Just give us the numbers. Let's just give us we did 70 pools. I don't know, you did 30 pools, you did 40 pools, instead of having us to guess how many singles or how many multis that we did. It's kind of ridiculous, because if you want to be a transparent company, just be more transparent with your players, let them know how many asterisks that they spend. So that would be freaking cool. Like 4-star or high guaranteed in 4 searches, 5-star guaranteed in 43 searches. Okay. Yeah, this is such a good suggestion in my opinion. Remove limit in weekly challenges. Please consider removing a weekly challenge cap and instead adopting a system where the first 3 weekly bosses attempts are free, with subsequent attempts of costing a set of amount of stamina or premium resources. This approach has been suggested by other players and would provide greater flexibility while still maintaining balance and progress and progression pacing. This is such a good suggestion. I think one of you guys actually commented the same thing on one of my videos, suggesting that like a system that is similar or like this system where like you do the weekly limit, like you do your 3, and then if you want to like to do an extra let's say like 3 or 4, then you're going to be spending your stamina, or you're spending like a certain maybe currency, or maybe like that would be cool if you can like what I talked about in the beginning of the video, maybe sacrifice like some of your echoes that you've been farming, or like something valuable in order to like to get this. I don't know. It's like it's very it's better than like sort of like waiting 3 weeks before having to do this. But yeah, it's like I do understand like their reasoning for it. Their main reason for it is probably like to get people to like to log in weekly, which is silly. You can have other ways to convince the players to play weekly, but yeah, it is what it is. That would be cool though. That's such a good solution / suggestion. The issues with 4-star characters' weapons. Since 2.0, there has been a noticeable decline in the release of 4-star characters and weapon. That's such a that's so true, which is the beginning to impact gameplay diversity and team building options. Additionally, a number of existing 4-star weapons have suboptimal stats, and the most recently released 4-star characters possess kits that are either poorly designed or lack synergy, resulting in limited usage with the community. That's so true. I noticed that they're not usually like with each 5-star character, they release 1 4-star character in order to like to balance it out. And also like the weapons, like the 4-star weapons used to like to be very, very, very good, that are usable for a lot of other new characters. But now I feel like they're making characters like weapons much more exclusive to them, that they work better, similar like to Cartethiya's like HP based weapon and stuff like that. So I don't like the direction that they're taking. If they adopt it or decide to adopt it like fully, I feel like they can alienate or sort of like destroy the base of weapons that they already have, such as like the 4-star weapons and stuff like that. I do agree that they are taking like sort of like a weird direction into this, so hopefully they address this and fix it, because they've been really good with listening to their community and fixing stuff up. But let me know what you guys think, and also like what are your suggestions that you, or the things that you want to change in the game that you don't like, because yeah, I'm sure that there is a lot of like small inconveniences that you guys like encounter in the game that maybe I overlook or a lot of other people overlooks, because I'm kind of curious. So his solution was, please consider increasing the frequency and quality of 4-star characters and weapon releases. Well-designed 4-star options are essential for providing viable free-to-play alternatives, especially as some team compositions currently lack accessible or effective substitutes. That's very, very true. I really like this one. I like this community like trying to get the game to be better, because they love it. Because after all, it's a game that we all love and enjoy. So to have the ability to get your voice heard to the devs and them listening would be really, really cool. So yeah. So it's gonna be interesting once the survey thingy that they release. Either is it tomorrow or the day after? I'm not sure when this video is going to be released, but yeah, yeah, let me know what you guys think, because I'm very, very curious. And if you have something that you want to add on, it would be interesting to like to see in the comments down below. With that being said, subscribe if you haven't already. A like on this video would help with the YouTube algorithm, and I'll be catching you guys in the next video. Bye bye.